Indian-Pakistani relations were getting warmer until the release of a postage stamp. Islamabad, Pakistan. It started cordially, with an exchange of fence-mending letters between estranged neighbors. It ended abruptly, with a special edition postage stamp whose honoree was viewed as a hero by one side and a terrorist by the other. The collapse of the recent, short-lived thaw between Pakistan's new government and the country's longtime nuclear-armed rival, India, was much more than a postal change of heart. It was rooted in decades of bad blood and bouts of armed conflict, lately exacerbated by a war of words and resurgence of violence in the Kashmir region, which is claimed by both countries. There was also the matter of the killing and reported mutilation of an Indian border guard. The hostile, 70-year history of Indian-Pakistani relations is littered with hopeful gestures, invitations, meetings, border ceremonies, and proposals for confidence-building measures that have been doomed by mistrust, insults, violence, conspiracy theories, charges of warmongering and deliberate sabotage by hawks in both camps. But Pakistan's new Prime Minister, Imran Khan, entered office last month eager for a fresh start, immediately declaring that if India took one step forward, Pakistan will take two. He invited an old friend from India, retired cricket player Navjot Singh Sidhu, to his inauguration, where a news photo of the turbaned Sidhu hugging Pakistan's uniformed army commander was an instant national sensation. In India, Sidhu's high-profile appearance at the event drew accusations of treason from hawkish commentators, but Khan appeared to take heart when he received a congratulatory letter from Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, a Hindu nationalist whose tenure has seen a rise in domestic anti-Muslim attacks and threats of military action against Pakistan. On September 14, Khan formally invited Delhi's foreign minister to meet his Pakistani counterpart on the sidelines of the current UN General Assembly session in New York, calling for constructive engagement between the two governments. On September 20, India initially accepted, with a meeting penciled for this week. But the next day, it abruptly cancelled the meeting, humiliating Khan and setting off a new round of rhetorical recrimination and muscle flexing. India's statement cited two causes for the cancellation. One was the recent killing and reported decapitation of an Indian guard by what it called Pakistan-based entities on the border between the two countries. The second was Pakistan's issuing of 20 commemorative stamps that India charged were glorifying a terrorist and terrorism. The stamps depicted Burhan Wani, a 22-year-old Kashmiri separatist rebel commander and folk hero to many young Kashmiri Muslims. He was killed in a shootout with Indian troops in July 2016, triggering months of violent public protests in the Indian-controlled portion. The stamps proclaimed Wani a freedom fighter and decried atrocities in Indian Kashmir, with blurry backdrops of violent and abusive scenes. The Foreign Ministry rejected Indian allegations of any Pakistani involvement in killing and mutilating the Indian border guard, and it defended releasing the stamps honoring Wani. By falsely raising the canard of terrorism, the ministry said, India can neither hide its unspeakable crimes against the Kashmiri people nor can it delegitimize their indigenous struggle for their inalienable right to self-determination. Other observers here took a longer view, saying that Pakistan and its new leaders need to focus on achievable goals with India and avoid raising the bilateral temperature out of peak. Some noted that Modi is facing elections next year and needs to reinforce his nationalist credentials at home, but that it remains in both countries' interest to prevent serious conflict, especially nuclear war.
MW News. Please subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.